Hello and welcome to another Royal Reviewer live channel episode. And in this episode, I come at you with some important breaking news about the royal family and to do with Harry and Meghan and of course the transition period. So today is the 19th of February 2021. And I'm just going to, but basically this news happened about an hour ago when I kind of first heard about it. And I've done quite a lot of reading, different articles and opinion pieces and all kinds of different things. Also the official statement as well. So I was trying to think where is the best place to start with this news. And I think the best place to start always is with the official information. So I'm going to read to you an official Buckingham Palace statement, and then we will read the Sussex response as well to that. So this Buckingham Palace statement was issued on the 19th of February 2021, and it says, "The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have confirmed to Her Majesty the Queen that they will not be returning as working members of the royal family. Following conversations with the Duke, the Queen has written confirming that in stepping away from the work of the royal family, it is not possible to continue with the responsibilities and duties that come with a life of public service. The honorary military appointments and royal family patronages held by the Duke and Duchess will therefore be returned to Her Majesty before being redistributed among working members of the royal family. While all are saddened by their decision, the Duke and Duchess remain much loved members of the family." There is also a note to editors, which I'm going to read as well, because that always gives you a little bit more information. So the note to editors part says, "Following the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's decision to step away last year as working members of the royal family, a 12-month review was agreed." And I'm going to stop there and talk about it because there was much talk and speculation that the 12-month review period had been abandoned or dropped. And I remember making a video at the time saying, no, I don't think it's been dropped. I think it's definitely going to go ahead. And of course, it was kind of due to go ahead round about the last week of March. The 31st was the date where it effectively was kind of up when Harry and Meghan officially kind of left the working part of the royal family last year. So I always kind of thought that that was just rumour and speculation, that this review was going to go ahead anyway, and it was always going to be based upon what Harry and Meghan kind of had done in that previous year and how Harry and Meghan wanted to move forward. I think this whole decision is very, very much what, in regards to what Harry and Meghan intend to do. It's almost, I suppose, reactionary to what Harry and Meghan are wanting to do. Harry and Meghan, of course, made it perfectly obvious, I think, to everybody in the past 12 months that by making and signing multi-year deals with Spotify and Netflix, that they had no intention of returning as working members of the royal family. Already at the start of them leaving, it was made perfectly clear by the Queen that you couldn't be kind of half in, half out. You couldn't earn independent money in the glare of the spotlight, but also do royal duties. It just wouldn't work. So we've already known that for a whole year. But Harry and Meghan have made it perfectly clear that they do not intend to come back as working members of the royal family. They obviously confirmed that to the Queen, and then the Queen has said, well, all of these kind of military appointments and royal patronages that we've held, that we've kind of, held for you, you've held them for the past 12 months, you can no longer, that doesn't work, it doesn't fit, you can no longer hold those. So those have been taken back and have been obviously gone back to the Queen, and they will be redistributed at some point. Right, I'm going to carry on with the notes to editors. "A decision has now been made after conversations between the Duke of Sussex and members of the royal family." So they've made it perfectly clear that the conversations were with the Duke of Sussex, and they've left Meghan out. So very, very much they are saying that it is Harry's decision, that they are not going to return, and the conversations have been held with Harry. It seems Harry alone. That is what the official line is. "The military, Commonwealth and charitable associations which will revert to the Queen are, of course, these are the appointments that Harry held, the Royal Marines, RAF Honington, Royal Navy small ships and diving, the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, the Rugby Football Union, the Rugby Football League, the Royal National Theatre, obviously from Meghan, and the Association of Commonwealth Universities from Meghan as well. So all of those revert back to the Queen, and they will be redistributed at some later point. Right, I'm going to stop here before I move on, and I'm going to be reading a lot of what people are saying. Christine says, just heard the news, not really unexpected. No, it's not. But what kind of is a little bit unexpected is the kind of Sussex statement as well, which we'll get to in a moment. It all kind of alludes to the fact that perhaps it wasn't as amicable as what the official royal family statement says. I think the royal family statement has very, very much gone just officially. You know, these things can't be worked out. You can't be half in, you can't be half out. You know, you can't have your cake and eat it, basically. But you're still very much loved members of the royal family. They made that perfectly clear. Harry and Meghan's response to that is a little bit more barbed, shall we say. So certainly it does show that there are still tensions between the family members. This wasn't completely, I don't think, amicable. It was already said and suggested that Prince Harry would fight to keep these military appointments, which obviously mean so much for him. So this will be a bitter blow for Harry, who obviously at the outset of announcing that they were going to leave and go to North America, just before they were staying in Canada, they announced they kind of just launched a website saying that they thought that they could be kind of half in, half out. They could still support the Queen, but then they could still go and earn their own money. So I think Harry still, even at this later stage, thought that he was going to be able to keep these military appointments and royal patronages, and that just was not the case. Also, I think this review period has kind of just been brought forward a little bit because of the widely talked about and speculated Oprah interview, which Harry and Meghan have agreed to. We don't know if the interview has been filmed already or not, but Harry and Meghan have agreed to sit down with Oprah. Apparently, it's going to be a no-holds-barred conversation where they will talk about, leaving the royal family, moving to North America. Obviously, their projects for the future coming up. I think this has definitely brought everything forward. You know, by about 4 weeks. We were always going to get some kind of information. This was always probably going to be the outcome, but we've got it a little bit sooner, perhaps, than what we would have done. With regards to the Oprah interview, there's been lots of talk about privacy. That Harry and Meghan, on the one hand, are trying to have privacy, defending their privacy in court, and won. And on the other hand, they are choosing to give out personal and private details. But that is what privacy is. And unfortunately, privacy is that you get to choose what you give out, when you give it out. And if it does end up being a little bit hypocritical, then that's the risk you take in doing that. And I think that's what Harry and Meghan are running the gauntlet of, by choosing, and bearing in mind it is a choice to do the Oprah interview. Oprah did not rock up at Harry and Meghan's Montecito home with a gun in her handbag, holding it to Harry and Meghan's head and saying, "You must do an interview with me." It was a choice. They didn't need to do this. They didn't need to talk about the past. It just really goes to show that really Harry and Meghan are still living, leaving the royal family. It's still very, very much in their heads, and they want to talk about it. And again, it's their choice to want to talk about it, and they have the right to do that. They completely have the right to choose which parts of their lives are private and which parts are not. But when you do pick and choose what's private and what's not, you run the gauntlet of public opinion, and the public are going to consider it and speak about it and think about it and have opinions on it. And again, that is part of free speech. So whilst Harry and Meghan can, freely give an interview to whomever they want to give an interview to, it's all about choices. And I don't think they needed to do this. When you look back at previous royal interviews, the Prince Andrew one, Diana's interview, Charles's interview, none of them have ended well, let's put it that way. So again, we don't know exactly what Harry and Meghan are going to say. in this Oprah interview. We know that it's mostly Meghan based, but hey, we shall see. Right. So I'm going to move on to the next part, which I'm hoping I can find right here. I've got loads of windows open. So Harry and Meghan's response to that, if I just scroll down to try and see it. So a spokesperson, where's it gone? I'm trying to find out where it was, because it was definitely here. Here we go. A spokesperson for the Sussexes has said, as evidenced by their work over the past year, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex remain committed to their duty and service to the UK and around the world, and have offered their continued support to the organisations they have represented regardless of official role. We can all live a life of service. Service is universal. So obviously this is a little bit of a barbed response to obviously the Queen's official statement about that it's obviously not compatible with a life of service. So Harry and Meghan in their statement have made it perfectly clear that they do intend to still be committed to the UK, that they have been committed over the past year, and furthermore, that we can all live a life of service. In other words, you don't have to be a member of the royal family to live a life of service. Service is universal, so service is for everyone. Service can be felt and seen around the world. It's not just limited to one country. That is what I think Harry and Meghan are saying in that statement. But it is a little bit barbed, and it does kind of show that there are still tensions, I think, behind the scenes. I don't think this was entirely what Harry and Meghan wanted to happen. Right, I'm going to go back to the comments and just see kind of what people are saying. Let's go up a little bit. IBM says, hasn't it been a jam-packed 2 weeks of royal news? Yes, it has. We've had a lot of breaking news. Yes, and by the way, Prince Philip is still currently in hospital as far as we know, but I suppose no news is good news with regards to that. KTF says, yes, it's a hard-hitting statement. Layla Holland says, I am sad that Harry and Meghan stepped down. However, I hope they have success in the life they have chosen. I hope their interview won't be another that is regretted. I suppose it entirely depends upon what they're asked and how they respond to those questions. Oprah is an expert. I mean, I have to say, Oprah, Oprah must be overjoyed to have this interview. She is an expert. She is a professional woman. You know, she has been doing this for how many years now? She is a global superstar icon herself. Oprah also at some point interviewed Sarah Ferguson as well, and this was after Sarah was disgraced for one thing or another. I forget exactly what it was. I think it was some kind of scandal. Now Sarah Ferguson, of course, is not an HRH. She is not also a duchess, even though she has Duchess of York at the end of her name. She is not the Duchess of York, so she's not royal in terms of styles and titles. So Sarah made a mistake. I forget which one it was. There are many. And she went on Oprah to kind of basically apologise. And the one thing that Sarah is really good at in an interview situation is grovelling apologies. Sarah will recognise what she's done wrong. She will identify that. She will own up to it. She will own her mistakes. And she will make an apology. And that is why the Oprah interview with Sarah Ferguson did so well, was because Sarah was humble. She basically, got on her knees, metaphorically speaking, and grovelled, made an apology, admitted her mistakes. I don't think we're going to get the same kind of thing from this interview. Not that Harry and Meghan have necessarily got anything to apologise for, but I don't think we're going to get that tone. It's not the style of Harry and Meghan. So it depends entirely upon what they're asked, how they respond, what they say, as to how it goes, I suppose. Right, I'm just refreshing my page because I can't see people's comments, but hopefully it'll come back on now. Darlene says they have made the firm look great. That is all they do is serve the people. Kate says Sarah knows how to speak to an American audience, indeed. Lauren says, I saw the Sarah Ferguson interview and it seems an okay interview because of the way that she approached it, basically. Oh, thank you to Mr. Marmello. $2 donation. Thank you so much. I love your past content, but stop with the gutter press. Hopefully we'll be able to. Miriam says, exactly. How about Piers Morgan grovelling and apologising? We did see an apology, and then obviously he relented upon it as well. Right, I'm going to say, I think there was some reactions from some of the charities and organisations as well. So the Queen's Commonwealth Trust has released a statement as well, saying the Queen's Commonwealth Trust exists to support young people around the world who are delivering practical help to those who need it most. We have been very lucky to have had keen support and encouragement of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in our formative years. They have enabled us to make fast progress and have helped us to take the organisation to readiness for its next phase. We are glad that they remain in our circle of supporters. Our focus, as always, is on the young people we work alongside. We will be pressing on with vigour to help them reach even more people with the essential services they provide. So that was from the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. There is also a message from the Rugby Football League, who says, thanks to the Duke of Sussex for his time, care and commitment in supporting Rugby League at all levels in recent years, from the children's game to the Challenge Cup, the England teams and the RLWC 2021. There is also a message from the National Theatre, who says, the National Theatre is very grateful for the support offered by the Duchess of Sussex throughout the course of her patronage. The Duchess championed our work with communities and young people across the UK and our mission to make theatre accessible for all. As Buckingham Palace has stated, the process of appointing a new patron is ongoing and will be announced in due course. We also have a message from, let's have a look, from England Rugby, who says that Harry will be stepping down as patron. We would like to thank Prince Harry for his time and commitment to the RFU, both in his position as patron and vice patron. The RFU has greatly valued his contribution to promoting and supporting the game. And I think, yeah, so basically they are stepping down from the Royal Marines, RAF Honington, the Royal Navy, Small Ships and Diving, England Rugby and the RFL. Meghan stepped down from National Theatre and the ACU, and jointly the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. But they do retain charities such as the Invictus Games, Wellchild, SmartWorks, those kind of organisations as well. Also, I think Meghan retains Mayhew as well. Yeah, so let's just go again to the comment section. It is very sad as well, because these organisations and charities did get to know Harry and Meghan very, very well, and a lot of the people that work for those charities will have been involved with Harry and Meghan too. Right, I'm going to kind of go up a bit. Right, so yeah, we will wait and see exactly what's going to happen with the interview. And like I say, I do think that this was kind of brought forward by a few weeks because of the impending interview that is going to take place. There is another one. Sky News is reporting that Buckingham Palace says that the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have told the Queen... Oh no, that's wrong. I know why that's been retweeted. Sky News has got the name wrong. They're saying the Cambridges, when in fact it is the Sussexes. So yeah, they've kind of got that one wrong. Let's put it that way. So yeah, let me know what you all think about this breaking news. I don't think to anyone that it's been a big surprise. Let's put it that way. And yeah, I think that there's also information, well, things about Prince Andrew trending as well on Twitter. And people, I think quite rightly asking the question, well, why is Prince Andrew still retaining all of the appointments that he has when obviously he's going through the time that he's going through at the moment with potentially facing legal action, although we haven't had any legal action, formal legal action against Prince Andrew. And I think that probably is the key to it, is that nothing's happened with Prince Andrew. I think a lot of people thought that last year, obviously we were pandemic hit, but I think a lot of people thought that last year things would be resolved one way or the other with Prince Andrew. I think people thought that maybe the girls' legal teams would have made some kind of, formal legal request against Prince Andrew that, of course, he would have to respond to. That didn't happen. They only, towards the tail end of last year, caught up with Ghislaine Maxwell. So I think this is going to rumble on with Prince Andrew. I don't think we're going to get a resolution to this straight away. And I think that is the key to it, is that it hasn't been resolved. With Harry and Meghan, they've made it perfectly clear that they are not going to return. And I think that is the key reason as to why those military appointments and organisations and patronages have been effectively removed from them. Prince Andrew did actually step away from all of his patronages. It was his military appointments which he still retains. He also is not funded any further by the Queen's private office. When he kind of, asked to step back, the Queen obviously agreed to it, but it was always kind of like a temporary measure until things were resolved either way, and he could either return or not. And like I say, I think basically they're in royal limbo land with the whole situation. I think desperately people want the Prince Andrew situation resolved one way or the other. Either things are kind of dropped and he can try and resume some kind of royal life, or there are charges brought and there's convictions and all that kind of thing, and then he loses everything. I think that's the bit where we're in. We're in kind of royal limbo land. With Harry and Meghan, it was quite easy because they made the decision to step back. It was what they wanted. They weren't, kind of forced to do it. It was their decision, their choice. They decided that they wanted to be high profile, earning their own money, getting high profile multi-year Netflix and Spotify deals. Prince Andrew, very different situation. And like I say, I hope that one way or the other, hopefully this year we will get some kind of resolution. And at that point, the royal family can take the appropriate action that should be taken against Prince Andrew. But we need there to be something that happens first. Right. Meghan will remain a patron of SmartWorks as well. Patsy, it is not defending Prince Andrew. It is talking about the facts. The facts are nothing's happened. He hasn't had a legal charge brought against him. So the royal family can't remove things and strip things if there hasn't actually been anything official laid at his door. All we know so far is that we've had this batting to and forth of the one side wants to talk to Andrew. Andrew said he would and whatever. But we haven't had any resolution from it. And the Queen and the royal family will act appropriately when there has been some kind of resolution to it, or when there is something more to go on, I should say. Right, so bringing this back, of course, to Harry and Meghan, we may have further developments throughout the day. I'm not sure. I don't think we'll get any further official statements either from the palace side or from Harry and Meghan. But I think the key statement of the day is to remember that the royal family has said, while all are saddened by their decision, the Duke and Duchess remain loved members of the family. And I think that is key to remember in all of this. So I'm going to leave this breaking news story here for the moment. And of course, if we do have any developments, I will jump back on and make a video. So I hope you've enjoyed this video in terms of the news that's being relayed to you. I've read the official statements from both sides, and I feel like we've had a really good talk and discussion about the different topics kind of around it. So thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a big old thumbs up, and make sure, of course, you are subscribed to the channel. So from me in Shropshire, mwah to you all, and goodbye.